Hello, and welcome to Travel Stories Unpacked, the travel podcast where we talk about all things from the silly to the serious and everywhere in between. I am your host, Ashley Newton, and thank you so much for spending some of your time with me. I really appreciate it. And you guys, this week we are unpacking Babymoons, and I'm so excited about this because I get to learn so much on this show, and I know nothing about this. So, of course, I have our guest, Babymooner Rachel Smith. So, Rachel, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So, of course, we have to start at the top. Can you define what is a baby moon?
My opinion of baby moon is you're still pregnant and you and your partner go on a vacation as your last time before you have your baby.
Okay, that's what I thought as well. I've also seen people talking about it like maybe before you begin your journey down hoping to get pregnant, or maybe like right after your baby like arrives, but the one I think is most common is while you're still in your pregnancy.
Yeah.
So I have so many questions about that. First, was this your first kid that you did the baby moon for?
Yep.
Okay, so first time being pregnant, first time going through that sort of journey on that scale. What was it like preparing to travel with pregnancy in mind?
So I had like a big to-do list when I got pregnant, and your first trimester, everything's just so new. And so really, if you were to go on a baby moon, I would suggest like doing it in your second trimester. You have a little bit more energy, and you feel perfectly fine. You feel energetic. At least I did. I had a very easy pregnancy.
Oh, congratulations. Like that's such
that
a
does
win.
make a difference. That does make a difference. But when you go, you're just traveling and to enjoy your last time before you're entering motherhood, and entering into your familyhood. It was something for my husband too.
Yeah.
It's not just for me. But that's like one of the main reasons I would also go, is because you're putting your body through it during pregnancy, and it's a time to just like relax and take a step back and enjoy. Put your to-do list to the side and just enjoy going on vacation.
All right. So where did you guys decide to go?
We went to the Bahamas. I don't think I would have went a ton of different places. Just the Bahamas was one of the ones on our list that we wanted to go to. It's relaxing. There's a beach. There's a pool. That's kind of what I wanted to do. I did not want to do any sightseeing and itineraries. I just wanted to relax.
Yeah. So had you been to the Bahamas before?
We have. We actually went to that resort before, and so we kind of knew what to expect, and we didn't feel like we needed to check everything out.
I love that. The idea that you already are like familiar with the lay of the land, the property, because I feel like so much of like settling in and like working through that just like anxiety takes up like a day or two of your trip, you know what I mean? So the fact that you were able to just like feel comfortable and already know how things worked, I think that is perfect for especially this sort of trip.
Yeah.
Like normally I'm all about I want to go new places and like more of the travel, more of the itinerary, more of like trying to jam pack everything. But it sounds like the goal for this was rest.
It was
and
rest,
relaxation. So
chill out. We had like some food spots that we knew we loved, and it was a good opportunity because I'm the same way. I always want to go somewhere new. And it was a good opportunity to be like, what have we loved before? Where could we go back?
Yeah.
So that was kind of just a perfect opportunity to do that.
So was it easy for you both to agree? Because I love that you said it wasn't just about you. Because I'm not gonna lie, in my mind, I'd be like, I am the one doing all the work. This is totally about me.
Okay, it was mostly about me, but the family part, it's just different once you have a baby.
Yeah.
There is so much on the mom, but the dad's life changes a lot too.
Absolutely.
So he was able to just relax, and I don't think he knew how much. Now looking back, he's like, oh, I'm so glad we did that. I needed that too.
Yeah. So you both sort of agreed on the vibe and the location pretty quickly in the process?
Pretty quickly. It was between two places, both same vibe. Beach and pool was the vibe we wanted to go for, and just somewhere we wanted to travel to again. So it was pretty easy.
So were you able to, you said you were like second trimester when you went. So were you able to like get in the pool and get in the ocean, all of that comfortably?
Very comfortable. Checked it over with my doctor. He was like, yep, you're fine to travel until you're this amount of weeks, you're good to go. Things that I didn't know, you don't want to have like too much sun exposure on your belly and just different.
Ooh, is
Yeah.
that like, how come?
I'm not like exactly sure the medical reasons, but even my doctor was like, cover up with a towel, different things
That's
that
so
I didn't
interesting.
know.
Yeah.
Also, I guess like in the ocean, dolphins tend to be weird with pregnant women.
I've heard that dolphins are just the menace of the ocean in general. Like, I am not surprised to hear this.
TikTok is my new Google.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I'm so guilty of that.
I just will like Google search, different things to know if you're traveling while pregnant, and bam, I had a whole list and of things that just to be aware of, I guess.
Yeah, all I was thinking was like, obviously you can't like make sure that you're getting any alcohol. Like, you have to make sure you're strictly on like the mocktail vibe or
we
whatever.
did mocktails.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, my husband even was like, I'll have a couple with you. I'll have a couple mocktails
Aww,
with you. So
what a good dude.
I know.
Like,
but it was nice. It was just so like relaxing and eating and having the mocktails by the pool. I mean, it just gave me that chance to relax. And then when I went home, I went right back to my to-do list. So
yeah,
it was nice.
Did you do any like treat yourself moments? Like, did you do any like massages?
We did.
Or
Yeah, I
anything?
did a prenatal massage, and that was
what is a prenatal massage?
When you're pregnant, you get a certain special massage that they just.
Up. Have you had another massage like that wasn't a prenatal one before?
Yeah.
So what were the main differences?
The main differences is just how you lay.
That
can't lay on your belly, and they just treat certain spots differently. So they focus, and you have different aches and pains when you're pregnant. So they focus on just whatever your body needs at that time.
Oh, that's amazing. So obviously, was that
much needed?
Was your partner in the room with you, like getting a regular massage, or was okay?
Yes.
I've only had one, and it was a couples massage, and I like. Now, to me, that's how I want them all to be. I like having somebody there with me. It makes me feel less like vulnerable, I guess.
I agree.
But I think that's so special that you guys got to do that together and like fully embrace in the like relaxation element of the trip.
And you don't realize how bad your body needs it until you're resting and experiencing that.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of the times it's just go, go, go. I mean, you're still working, you're still just doing all of the things to prep for the baby. So taking a step back is like, oh, wow, I needed that.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's so fascinating. So like mentally, do you feel like it helped get you into the headspace to become a parent and change your family dynamic? Because I feel like that's a big part of vacation too, is I usually get like that mental reset and I come back feeling like, I don't know, ready to keep living.
Yeah, I definitely think it helped mentally too, because your brain is just thinking about all the things you need to do. It was also a good opportunity for me and my husband to like discuss certain family dynamic things. Like,
oh, I didn't even think about that.
It was like, I don't know, just an opportunity to be like, so what do we want like Christmas to look like? It was just fun to kind of talk about like what traditions we want and just more like of the fun things that you don't think of, instead of just like getting the nursery ready and doing A, B, and C. Just what is this going to look like, or what are some of our goals for our family? And that was some of the conversations we had during our baby moon. Well, since it was like a trip planned around our new family, so it was kind of, those were some of our conversations. Well,
and I am, child free. I don't have any kids, so I've never gone through those conversations, but I feel like it's very natural for those things to kind of come with a lot of tension or a lot of expectations, or like you said, you're kind of half having them because you're also vacuuming or putting together the crib or whatever. So I think that being in that sort of environment maybe would remove some of that stress and allow you to just like have these conversations in a very natural, almost like relaxed sort of way.
Right. It totally was like that. It was just relaxed and almost like on the agenda of what we were there to do. So yeah.
So did you plan that, or did you just like, did it naturally
unfolded that way? We were on the trip because we were pregnant and expecting, and so they kind of just happened naturally.
So since you guys have traveled, you've been there before and you both went there together, right?
Yeah.
So was there anything that as you were watching other people experiencing their vacation and you're there for your baby moon that you felt like you were like missing out on?
Not really, especially because we've been there before.
Yeah.
And it was even like the resort that we were at allows kids. So it was even something we were like, oh, when we bring our daughter here.
I didn't even think of that.
Then we like kind of like envisioned a whole nother vacation down the road.
Did you guys do like a lot of photos?
We did take pictures. We actually got some professional pictures too done.
Oh, how sweet.
Yeah, so that was perfect setting for that too.
I could just see like showing your kid, you know?
Yeah.
And like if you take them there later, it's
We were
like
here,
you've been
yeah.
coming here your whole life.
Really.
Like
Definitely.
So have you started planning the idea of like family vacations?
Yeah, so we've done a couple trips with
already?
Our daughter. Yeah.
So when was your baby? How old, I guess, is your daughter?
My baby's 11 months.
She'll be so brand new.
She'll be 1 next month. And we did her first trip when she was 6 months.
Oh, wow.
And the reason why people should really hop on the trend for Babymoons is because traveling as a family, it's like not about you anymore, and it's not the same relaxation. It's like a whole different experience. You're worried about your child and all the things that they need, and you are so on the back burner. You could still enjoy yourself, but it's just not the same, and it's not going to be the same for a while.
So in your mind, a baby moon is definitely before baby.
Yeah.
And then comparing it to the trip after baby is just night and day.
Definitely. I mean, I was even thinking like on the plane, typically I'm downloading movies and I'm, making sure my Kindle has books loaded on it. And I did some of that and I was like, what was I thinking? I have this baby that I'm entertaining the whole flight. There was no use of any devices or anything. So I'm like, yeah, this is very different. I'm used to like entertaining myself. Now I have to take care of my 6-month-old child. And she did sleep for some of the plane ride, but still I wasn't able to read and watch movies and stuff. So it's just very different.
Yeah.
Even just traveling. And then once we got there, still very different. Worrying about nap time and what to bring to the beach and making sure she has all the things that she needs.
Yeah, like I struggle just like thinking about myself sometimes and like making sure I have my own like list taken care of, my own entertainment. So I literally could not imagine. And especially when you're having to take care of a baby that can't communicate back with you, So it's just like, are you good?
Yeah.
Like, are you having a good time? Like, I don't know.
Do you need anything?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So what advice would you have for any other, expecting parents who wanted to plan out a baby moon?
First and foremost, going with the idea of relaxing and taking a break for yourself mentally and physically. And then second, just having that time for you and your partner before, because like I said, when you travel again, it's going to be, you're not going for yourself. You're going as your family. Or like I have a trip coming up in September and it's going to be our first trip without her. I'm still already like, I'm going to miss her. The worrying at home, it's just still not going to be the same. So going for just those reasons. And even if like money is a barrier, even if you did like a staycation or something to just go somewhere for those purposes.
Yeah, normally I'm all about a staycation just because like we all need a break, right? And however you can make it work for you, more power to you. But what I really love about this is that you removed yourself from the home. So all of those usual things that pop up that because gosh, getting your house ready for a newborn baby is a full-time job.
For sure.
So like being able to remove yourself from all of those temptations and all those things that you think, oh, well, this is really, really what we have to do. So even if you do a staycation, I might suggest still like leaving your physical house.
Definitely.
Because I feel like that was a big plus.
If I did like a staycation or something, I mean, we would have went to like Hocking Hills or somewhere drivable, but still with removing yourself from the situation and kind of relaxation in mind and having time just you and your partner.
It also sounds like you were pretty like comfortable. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah.
Like you weren't like just super uncomfortable on the
No,
plane or during like your transportation?
That's why you have to go in your second trimester.
Okay.
Because first trimester, at least, I mean, pregnancy could be different, way different for every person. But typically, first trimester, people are sick. Your energy is very low. Second trimester, a lot of times that morning sickness goes away. And your energy levels are just up. And then third trimester, pretty sure that's when travel gets cut off anyways. But you are like huge and you're uncomfortable. You're swelling. It's just, your energy's down again. So that sweet spot is second trimester.
Okay. I also feel like the idea of going to a property that you knew is such a brilliant idea. But I guess I would say to look into, even if you are in your second trimester and you feel like you're doing great, I know I get tired by the end of the day just walking around a resort or property. So maybe looking into like the size of where you're staying and like, do they have elevators? Like, or is it just like 20 flights of steps to get to your
like
room
I
every
wouldn't
night?
be going to like Greece where you had to walk up everywhere, you know. Definitely keeping those things in mind. I mean, we were thinking about Europe, for example. We went for our honeymoon to Europe. And
where'd you go for your honeymoon?
We went to Italy and Greece.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing. And we were like, we wish we did more exploring outside of the US before we had our baby. And the reason being is just the long flight. And, you know, we could bring her, but it's going to be a lot.
Yeah.
So even if we went somewhere like that, I would have those same considerations. Just picking somewhere that you can bop around easy and have those, just thinking about walking and those kinds of things.
So another thing, and like, please do not judge me. I'm very ignorant to all of this, but something that I have learned is like the amount of foods that you're restricted to when you're pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I feel like everybody thinks of like, oh, well, you can't have sushi. Like, okay, like that's pretty easy to avoid and make sure you're not consuming anything raw. But when my sister was with child, she said that they couldn't eat like a lot of like lunch meats were off the table. Just like a lot of other things that I was like, oh, really? Like, I didn't think about that. So were you finding that being able to eat on resort was not a problem?
It really wasn't a problem, especially you have the internet at your fingertips. So just a quick Google search of like, should I have this or should I have that was very helpful. And I got a lot of that out during my first trimester. So going into my second trimester, I kind of knew what I needed, my body needed, and what was okay versus not okay.
Yeah.
So by the time I got to the Babymoon, it wasn't really an issue.
Do you remember any of the weird foods that you couldn't eat?
Definitely. Well, sushi's my favorite food. So
I love sushi.
That was
too,
like a big, hard one. Lunch meat, really just like raw foods you're not supposed to have. Caesar dressing.
Why not Caesar dressing? That's my favorite.
Eggs, raw eggs are in there.
Oh, really? See, like that's how I feel like they get you.
Yeah,
like it's like all these little catches.
And some people are like, you know, in moderation, or if you felt like the place was safe, they would have it. It kind of just depends on how you feel and what you are willing to compromise with.
Yeah, but with like all the big ones, at least
those were like the big ones.
It was easy to avoid. It wasn't like they were only serving sushi and lunch meat.
No, it was very easy to avoid. It was good. Yeah.
Okay, so I know this is a bit of a personal question, but it sounds like you definitely have no regrets, and you would absolutely have like go back in time and do it again.
Definitely.
Are you planning on expanding your family? Do you know, like if you were, I guess we'll say that, would you do this again?
Yes, definitely. And again, I don't like, even if the second time around you're having a baby, the Babymoon's not going to be quite the same as the first time that you have the baby, because you still have those barriers, right? You have those barriers. I think we would do another Babymoon and keep little one at home and do just us again. Because I recently saw a family on Instagram that I follow. They went on a Babymoon, took the baby. And that's interesting too, though. I don't know what I would do, because that's interesting because it was like the last time those three.
Oh.
So maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm kind of back and forth. I don't know.
You're going to have to do your TikTok research.
Yeah. I'm going to have to see what everyone thinks. But I could see a benefit of both, I guess.
Really could.
So maybe I'll just do 2 vacations.
You know, I'm all about that. More like, absolutely. The more places
we
you
love
can
traveling,
go, the better.
So
Yeah.
I could see us doing that.
Well, and I love that you've already instilled this, like, as a family. You're going to continue to travel because I think for a
Definitely.
lot of young families, it's daunting, you know,
It
and
is
like the
daunting.
financial aspect is always a consideration. So
Mhm.
it's like, you know, and there's a ton of ways to make it work. We talk about it a lot on this podcast as far
Yeah.
as budget travel, or even like we were talking about staycations. Like
Mhm.
there's a lot of ways to get out there and experience things. So I love that you guys are continuing to make that a priority as you grow your family and, you know, come up with all your own traditions and all
Mhm.
the fun stuff you guys are going to do together.
Yeah, we definitely will continue traveling as a family and take advantage of the time you don't have to buy a flight for them.
Yeah, when do you have to start doing that?
2, when they're 2.
When they're 2 years old, do you
Yeah,
have
so
to
you
start
need to
buying your own
get
plane tickets?
we're thinking about going to Europe next year in May.
That'll save you a ton of money.
Because we need to take advantage of that. I'm like, we have to.
Yeah, absolutely. And then maybe what you should do is you should travel all around with your under 2-year-old, come back with a bunch of tips on how to save money traveling as a young family, and we'll do another show.
Yes, I'll be here.
And you said that you're going somewhere in September. So, but that is just you and your partner. You're not bringing the baby. So where are
No.
you going?
We're going to Vegas.
Is that why you're not bringing the baby, or would you bring the baby to Vegas?
I think eventually I would. My husband says no. Our first year that we went to Vegas, we were so obsessed with it that we had to go 3 times that year.
3 times?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Because every single trip has been so different and so fun. And it's almost like just like another little world for us. So we're like, every time we go, we eat something new, we do something new. And I'm like, I feel like we could figure it out with a kid. I mean, I do think you should bring a mother-in-law or a grandma or something.
Like a babysitter?
Definitely. Because you still want to do what you want to do, but
yeah.
And Vegas never sleeps, so and the baby needs to sleep.
Yeah.
So
do you usually stay on the Strip when you go?
We do.
Would you still plan on doing that with a baby, or do you think it'd be a little more like family friendly the further from the Strip you got?
Probably would be more family friendly, but not as easy to get around. So we'd probably stay on the Strip.
Yeah.
So we'd probably do that, but have to accommodate child as best as possible. I mean, there's pools, there's desert things, there's things that we could figure out.
Yeah,
we just need to bring a grandma with us.
To be honest, I kind of feel like, okay, and again, not a kid person, so please don't come for me, but I feel like any age under 5, it doesn't really matter where you take them. Like, they're gonna be interested in the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Vegas, Orlando, it's all the same to them. I feel like it's once they start getting a little older that they can do some like different activities.
Yeah, and they start noticing more, and
Yeah.
you know, maybe not when they're at a certain age, but I think the next couple years she might come to Vegas with us.
You know, if I had to bet, I would say just based on the love that you have, it's only a matter of time. Like, for sure.
Definitely.
Well, either way, I hope you guys have the best time
Thank
when you go in September and are able to maybe tap into some of those Babymoon vibes that you had, even though I'm sure you'll be missing your daughter back home.
Definitely, yeah. We'll be missing her and worrying, but that's why, and it's especially because it's the first trip away. But
yeah.
We'll enjoy it.
No, that's always hard, but you got to rip off the Band-Aid sometime.
Right.
You know?
Right.
All right. Well, Rachel, thank you so much for coming on and sharing all of your Babymoon experience with me. I definitely learned a lot today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and then thank you everybody who listened to this episode. And if you have any questions about Babymoons or want to share your Babymoon story, please do so below in the comments or anywhere on social media using our hashtag #TravelStoriesUnpacked. And then keep coming back on Fridays where we're going to bring you new travel topics, stories, and all of our opinions that go along with it. And this podcast is brought to you by KHM Travel Group, a leading host agency for independent travel agents. Visit khmtravel.com to learn more.